Hey guys, how we doing? It's Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. We're going to talk about the key resistance and support levels for Bitcoin. We're going to talk about those for XRP as well. We'll quickly touch on the DXY before we leave. But before we get into anything, guys, I just want to say my view on this market is that long term we're going up. We're an asset class that's going to increase in value. I don't understand the huge FUD that we're getting on Twitter at the minute. I understand there's a lot going on in the macro markets. Macroeconomics right now are massively important when you make any sort of decision, especially swing or trading decisions. You need to work out if you're a trader or a long-term speculator and investor on this market. If you're a long-term investor, these prices are great for risk to reward. That's why I've been personally buying. The thing that I don't like about all the bears in the market at the minute and people shouting on Twitter is that they're just saying, oh, the market's going to capitulate with little to no technical understanding of what the prices they're calling out that they would mean to the market. They would invalidate a lot of the structures that we've seen since the whole of inception of Bitcoin. Doesn't mean they won't happen. I'm just saying you can't call to say that we're in a 4-year bull bear market and then say that these sorts of prices that people are calling for could happen. I just don't think it's possible. That it would invalidate market structure. So that's some of the things that you have to look at, okay? Doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong. There's a high chance that I am wrong. There's a high chance that I'm right. Also, you make your own decisions as to what you think is going to happen, guys. The only thing that I do want you to take away from this video before we quickly jump in, I'm going to keep this quite short, the video, hopefully, just going to point out some key areas for you, is that this is an asset class that's growing exponentially. We've got regulation coming. It's probably going to aid with our financial system in the future. I mean, I'm 99% sure that it will. We've got the biggest economies in the world trying to embrace it, creating regulatory framework. I don't want to see people getting footed out the market on a potential loss of fiat value because they've been buying in around these prices, or literally any price in the last maybe few years. There's not many prices you could have bought at in the last few years where you would still be in profit, and to see you lose money and then disregard the asset class completely when we're probably about to take a leg up, and I don't know when that might be. It could be 1 month, could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 2 years, could be whatever, but we know that within 4 years we'll probably break a new high for Bitcoin, and that sounds like a long way away. But if you think that this could be near the bottom, or even if the bottom is anywhere in and around here, like, which would be realistic for a bottom to come in for Bitcoin, let's just say the bottom comes in at 29k and we don't ever go any lower than that again, which is what these markets indicate, and I'll show you that sort of thing in a minute. And then if we go from the previous all-time high and we push up 200%, and let's say there's less volatility, so we only go 100%, let's just say, from this all-time high, that would be up to $140,000. And if you're in and around this area here, your risk to the downside, if we're saying the bottom's at 29k, and again this isn't accurate, is a 19% downturn to the next high, let's say 140,000 we said, didn't we, just from some elongated cycles. It'd be a 290% upside reward for a 19% downside risk. That's a 10-to-1 risk to reward ratio that you'll be throwing away right now just because of emotion and FUD in Twitter. And that's something that I really want to drill into people. Really want to drill that into you. Doesn't mean that I'm right, doesn't mean that I'm wrong. Will we come lower for a bottom in Bitcoin? Nobody knows. People are calling for 19,000. That invalidates the market structure from the previous Bitcoin cycles, probably all the way from inception. So that gets rid of the last 13 years of data in terms of 4-year cycles. Does it mean it's right or wrong? Does it mean it will happen? I don't know. Is this a black swan event because of potential recession, global recession? We don't know. I'm just saying this market and asset class can assist with potential issues that we have with liquidity. We know that. Is it a new asset class that's going to hedge against those? We don't know how it's going to react, but we do know long term it will increase in value as this technology becomes adopted, which is what we're seeing worldwide. That's you can't argue against that part. So we just get now into the support and resistance levels. I'm just going to touch on them quite quickly. Let's take us off logarithmic. So we're looking at supports. Obviously 29,000 is our very low support that I wouldn't want to see broken. Then the next real support level there, we're looking at $33,000, and then above that 34.5. I personally think 35-ish will hold. Don't think we come much lower than that. That's just my personal thesis. And then after that, where are we looking at in terms of resistance? We're looking at resistance up here at this Fibonacci retracement level, which is 46,000. We're then looking at 48 and then probably 52,000 from there. We're also looking for a retracement rally before I think we can head much further down. If we do see any lower than 29,000 ever again, it will be after we see a retracement, in my opinion. The retracement area we're looking for is between the 702 and 786, so all the way for between 58,000 and 61,500. If we see those retracement levels and then we start to dip back down, my opinion on this market will have changed, and I will talk to you about that when that happens. And if that happens, one thing you want to take into consideration, guys, is that never in a bull market have we seen this many red candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red weekly candles. You won't find that anywhere else in a bull market. Maybe in a bear market, I haven't counted all the bear market structures, but even in a bear look, it doesn't look like we're going to see that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green. We haven't even seen that in a bear market structure since 2019. So that's another thing to take into consideration there, guys. Like I was preaching to you guys on the way up, nothing goes up in a straight line. Same way coming down, nothing goes down in a straight line. We will see a retracement rally, whether that's back up to the retracement levels I was just talking about there, or whether it's just a retrieval from this downward pressure that we've had for the last 5 weeks. It's a great way to shake people out of the market. Could we continue to go lower? Yes, it's possible. Is it likely with market structure? Probably not. We can even see that from statistics. It's never happened before. So that's just something to take into consideration. Obviously, things change all the time. The market's always evolving and adapting, so take that into consideration too. So they're the price areas that I'm looking for. So even if we do come down to what, 34 and a half, even 33,000, 29,000 is the lowest I think will come. If we do get down there, I don't think that will happen, but who knows? Who knows, honestly. But is this a bad range to be buying? In my opinion, obviously not at all. Not at all. So we've got 92% upside potential there, even to get back to all-time highs. So you're probably making 100% on your money if we get back up to all-time highs, and even if we come down just to 29,000, it's an 18% downside to a 100% upside. So it's a 5-to-1 risk to return just to make all-time highs. And then we'll look at risk reward. Then we'll look at XRP specifically. This is XRP on the weekly. XRP is looking strong in my opinion. Again, we're holding support levels. I don't think we come any lower than this sort of area here, 51 cent. This is a buy box I've got drawn in if you guys want to draw that in. Normally when we wick into this area, we've only really seen wicks into that area since we broke out of it in March of 2021. The top price level for it is 58 cent and the bottom price level is 51 cent. Looks to be a great area to be putting some buy orders in if we get those, if we get that opportunity. We're below the 200-day weekly moving average right now. And again, look how many red candles we've had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6th red candle. I've got to say that I think that we've got to see some green price action soon, just based on the fact that we've just seen so much red. When you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles, what happened? Red candle. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles. Hopefully what's going to happen? Big fat green candle. That would make sense because we haven't really seen this before. One thing that is important is volume looks to be starting to pick up. Looking to start to pick up, and we are still holding support levels. So maybe that indicates a reversal there, guys. I don't know. I'm just throwing some things out there for you. DXY. Again, we're flirting with that all-time high. It looks to be struggling on it a little bit today. We'll take it into the hourly time frame just so I can show you what's actually going on. Look, absolute chop in this range. Could we push up higher? Yes, potentially. We'll go back to the weekly and I'll show you what I'm potentially looking at here. And I do talk about this on the weekly roundup, which is being released later. We get all the way up to about 89 on the highest we've ever seen on the weekly DXY, or at least all going back, way back when. Yeah, the highest that we can see in recent history. So this is in 2015. We get up to 89 in the DXY. Right now we're at 79. So we'll just say it's roughly a 10% increase that we could have. That could take, and if we apply that to price action from here, that could take us up to like 114 on the DXY, which I think would really catch a lot of people out. For the dollar strength to push up there, we'd be massively overbought still, and then maybe some reversal from there. But I also think there's a high potential we can reverse from here too. Again, we don't see things go up forever, guys. With the DXY, look at it on the weekly. We're just banging green candles out everywhere. I understand why, because of the macro events, recessions, China's lockdown, the geopolitical events with Russia, Ukraine, all these sorts of things. One final thing that I will say to you guys is that a lot of people are throwing out some crazy price targets on Twitter of where they think Bitcoin's going to come down to, and I don't really think that they understand market structures from previous price action. We're going to just look at we'll look at lows being set first, and then I just want to show you that there is an argument, and I know a lot of people think that I'm going to get it on logarithmic. There is an argument to say that Bitcoin's not set its high yet, and that's something that I have some sort of thesis towards, but I wouldn't say I know either way. We'll just look at lows to start with. So the first low, as is a Bitcoin halving, this blue line here, the first low from 2013 came 770 days after the halvening. The low from the 2017 bull run came 875 days, so just say another 100 days on top of that. So that would indicate that our low, if we went on the same sort of market structures that we're talking about, would come, oh no, I've lost it, it was 870, wasn't it? We'll just say 970 and 980 sort of days. It would suggest the low we're looking for is in January 2023. If we look at percentage increases to all-time highs, if we say that it's decreasing by roughly a third in each cycle after the halvening, we've got the first all-time high of 9,000%, the second all-time high is 3,000%, so the third all-time high should be 1,000% based on that statistic from where the halvening is. So that would actually take us out to, I've got it on date, 1 second. That would actually take us out to, let's get rid of this just to make it a bit, I'm having a beaster. Let me get rid of that. Oh no, that's not what we want to get rid of. We want to get rid of that. There we go. Let me just quickly draw this in. So we go from the date of the halving, we'll go from right there, and 1,000% would take us out towards 118,000 for an all-time high for Bitcoin. Just saying that would statistically fit in with what's going on before, maybe a little bit less than that because it's 9,500 to 2,000. So we'll take us to 900%, let's say. Maybe about $100,000 Bitcoin. So is that going to happen? I don't know. These are just things to take into consideration, guys. Last but not least, as I said, risk to reward is what you want to play for, guys. In my opinion, don't get footed out of the market by people who are just throwing silly TA out there, and try and take it back and use historical data to analyze your TA and analyze the TA that people are giving you in the market. Hope you stay safe out there, guys. Is it a good time to buy now or not? In my opinion, I've been buying, but you need to make that own decision for yourself. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace up, A-Town down. I'll see you on the next one.